Huge updates on Osimhen to Chelsea, Raheem Sterling to Manchester United, Jadon Sancho coming the other way potentially to Chelsea, and the first glimpse of the Enzo Maresca era for the Chelsea in a 6-2 victory over Wolverhampton Scoundrels. So, welcome back to the channel. Subscribe if you're new. Like the video, it will help me out. Comment your thoughts on all of these stories. We've got the quick roundup. Kepa is closing in on a loan to Bournemouth. He's going to extend his contract by 1 year so that when his loan ends, he'll come back to Chelsea with still a Chelsea player, and we'll be able to sell him for a value of something. Hopefully the timing will work out with Lunin leaving Real Madrid, and then they'll have money most definitely from probably winning another Champions League to sign Kepa as their backup. Another quick one. Ben Chilwell could be an option for Manchester United. We're going to speak about Sterling and Sancho, but Chilwell is another one that could leave Chelsea to join Man United. And like I said, Chelsea beat Wolverhampton Wanderers 6-2 yesterday. I'm going to have some few words on the performance at the end, but people are starting to see what Chelsea are cooking, why we sat Pochettino, why Maresca is the current man for the job. There's a hat-trick from Noni Madueke, a cold performance from Palmer, and just an all-round great performance from a lot of players. But we'll move on to the Osimhen updates. I've recorded this already, but my mic wasn't on. So, there's a lot of stuff that came out after the 6-2 win. Chelsea are still interested in a potential loan or a swap deal, according to Nizar Kinsella. We know that there were reports that there could be Lukaku plus Casadei plus £35 million, with meaning Osimhen go the other way, but that didn't really materialise because Lukaku is now going on a separate deal. They still could want Casadei. They still could want Carney Chukwuemeka, who we've apparently been negotiating with. But Al Ali yesterday bid £55 million, about 65 million euros, and according to Fabrizio Romano, it was basically accepted. However, I have a feeling there was a sneaky structural thing going on. Maybe it was all up front, or there was loads of add-ons, or a big sell-on clause, or something that, because that's a lot less than they were asking for before, and it was accepted. However, Osimhen himself turned down the Al Ali offers because he wants to stay in Europe. According to his agent, he has unfinished business. He wants to win he wants to win the Ballon d'Or. He finished 8th place in that already, and you're not going to win a Ballon d'Or in Saudi Arabia. He also wants a release clause in his contract if he goes to Saudi Arabia, which only means that that's not where he wants to be playing his long-term football. I think at the moment he just wants to get out of Napoli, but I think Chelsea could be a concrete option for him as long as he lowers his wage structure, lowers his wage demands, and my apologies, and fits into Chelsea's wage structure of a low base contract, which would then increase with incentives such as scoring loads of goals or getting Champions League football. Then it would go up to what he's kind of asking for, but there's no guarantee. I can see what he thinks. Maybe he wants the guaranteed money, and it's kind of based on his team. If his teammates, if they don't perform as well around him, then he's not earning as much money, which is a bit unfair, but it's a team thing, and if you don't want to play with Chelsea, don't come then. Apparently, according to Sky, terms of a potential deal may be becoming more favourable for Chelsea, and Chelsea and Napoli did make some progress on a potential structure in the last few days, but Chelsea will not proceed until they become even more favourable. Chelsea do not want a repeat of the Lukaku deal or a Sterling deal where they get a big name that kind of seems like it will not fail, but then it just ends up stinky and absolutely failing, and we can't get rid of him in the end. But moving on to Raheem Sterling, he's in the bomb squad alongside Ben Chilwell, who else? Amanda Broja, Trevor Chalobah, that are not training with the Chelsea team, and they are not in the Chelsea plans. The deadline day is on Friday, so it's Monday today, the end of this week, excluding the weekend. So the sporting directors are going to be busy this week trying to get all of these players out, because we do not want somebody like Trevor Chalobah training with the under-21s but not playing games, and then his value is just going to go down and down, and it's not fair on him because he needs to be playing football. He's a footballer. Sterling is apparently open to a Manchester United move despite his 7-year affiliation with their rivals Man City, and it could potentially see Sancho go the other way. I can see Sterling in a Manchester United kit. I can just see it. I don't know. There's something about, they've got Rashford, they've got Garnacho, but Sterling is just a very Manchester United signing, and if he wasn't playing for Man City um, before Chelsea, then it would have been one of those signings that Man United make of a Sterling leaving a club and then joining them for huge wages. They'll pay his money, no doubt. I hope it works. I hope it happens because they'll hopefully pay a bit of money for him. Like I said, Ben Chilwell could be an option for them, but they already have Luke Shaw, Malacia, and Mazraoui playing left back. Although Luke Shaw and Malacia seem to be always injured, and Mason Mount's there, Ben Chilwell's best mate, and he's an England international on his day when he's fit, Ben Chilwell. And if you have 3 injury-prone left backs, surely one will be fit at once, which Chelsea kind of need to live by. And yeah, Sterling, I don't know how much they demand. We signed for £45 million. He said he's got 2 years left in his contract, maybe £25 million for Raheem Sterling. I think would be fair business. He's not a bad winger. He's experienced, but Enzo Maresca doesn't want him. And I think more importantly, the sporting directors want him gone because of his huge wages. His wages do not reflect what he brings to the team. Jadon Sancho. I feel like him and Erik ten Hag still have a bit of tension. He apparently apologised and he has been playing. He's come off the bench in the Premier League, played pre-season games, but he seems happiest at Dortmund and best performing at Dortmund. And he was pretty good in that his 6 month season, half a season long loan last season, got him to the Champions League, formed a pretty good partnership with Ian Maatsen down the left-hand side, which would have been great if we kept him. Chelsea apparently see Sancho as an opportunity, but are more focused on outgoings, according to Fabrizio Romano. More interestingly, Joe Shields, who is the head of recruitment or head of scouting at Chelsea, is heavily affiliated with Sancho. Similarly with Cole Palmer, Romeo Lavia, he brought them to Chelsea. He convinced them on a project, and I have no doubt that he would be able to bring Sancho to Chelsea. The only stumbling blocks, which are pretty big barriers, is that he is on about 325k a week. He would massively need to reduce that and be on like Mudryk wages, about 75k a week, or maybe Nkunku wages, but I don't think he's done enough in his career like Nkunku to demand those sort of wages. And also, Man United are asking for £40 million, which is kind of half price of what they paid for him. They paid about £73 million for him. But if they're trying to force him out, like Sterling and Chilwell, you can't ask for a big fee because there's a reason you're going to be forcing them out. Even if Chelsea, it's because they're on high wages. Now, do we need a Sancho? No, we've got a lot of wingers. We've got Mudryk, who is only left, Madueke, who is only right. Palmer can play on the right, but better inside. And Nkunku can play on the left, but better inside. Felix can play on the left, but also better inside or up top. And other than that, we don't really have any. We could do with him. Oh, it's tough. Let me know. I don't think it's worth spending £40 million on him. But if we can shift Sterling and get a younger player in Sancho with a higher ceiling, because I do think if we ended up signing Sancho under the right manager, I was looking at his stats. He's great at taking players on, and that is what Maresca wants. Not really what Mudryk does. Sancho can play on the left or the right, can't sign on the left or take someone on down the right. I think it could be a good move, but only if the conditions are right. And like Fabrizio said, Chelsea only consider it as a potential opportunity. And then finally, I'm going to speak very quickly on Chelsea 6, Wolves 2. My computer is boiling hot. I'm going to have to wrap this up soon. People are starting to open their eyes on the Chelsea rebuild. It took a while, but finally, who's the Spurs fan? What's his name? I can't remember. He's on TalkSport. He's a bit of a bellend anyway. He was basically saying Chelsea can challenge for the title if they sign a striker. We scored 6 goals. Why do we need a striker? We need a centre-back. If we signed a big centre-back, a quality centre-back, I think we could then challenge for the title. I'm not getting carried away though. It was a great performance in the second half especially. We're starting to see what Maresca's instilling into the players and the quality we had off the bench. Pedro Neto, João Felix, Christopher Nkunku. I'm going to have to sell Nkunku in my FPL team because it doesn't look like he's going to start. Having Palmer in that inside role and then Madueke outside him was absolutely disgusting. Mudryk came off the pitch at halftime. Neto came on, kind of opened the game up a lot more. And even Felix as that kind of false nine was very nice. And Nkunku, I don't know where he fits in this team. I don't know where Nkunku fits, but you know he's a great player. I think we kind of missed Lavia in the first half, but the defense, I still feel like Fofana was shaky. But then who do you have instead? Tosin? Don't know. Badiashile? Don't know. Disasi? I don't know. Colwell will be in the long-term plans for sure, and the more he plays, the better he's going to get. Same with Fofana, really. He has a high ceiling, but I feel like if we signed a Diomande or just a big European quality centre-back, it doesn't have to be old, doesn't have to be 19, maybe like a 23, 24-year-old, even just a free Mats Hummels or something like that. So a quality centre-back with experience. Maybe Thiago Silva left the season too early, although he was a bit slow and he was maybe holding the team back a little bit, but his distribution was top class. But I'm going to end the video there. Subscribe to the channel. Let me know your thoughts on all these stories, and like the video, comment your thoughts. Goodbye.